Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to share with you how to make 2 delicious, nourishing, easy vegetable broths. Actually, the first one I'm going to share with you is not necessarily a vegetable broth, it's a mushroom broth. Obviously mushrooms are not vegetables, they're fungi. And they make for such an amazing, rich, hearty broth. I like to make it at least once a week. And the next one I'm gonna show you is more of a classic vegetable broth. Making your own broths is easy, it's delicious, it's fresh, and it's super cheap. I mean, you could say it's free to make your own broths because so often you're using the scraps from the vegetables that would otherwise go in the trash or the compost. Okay, so let's get started with our first very easy 3-ingredient broth. For the mushroom broth, we're using only 3 ingredients: the tough stems from mushrooms and 2 types of seaweed. Try to use the mushrooms that have a lot of flavor. The best for broth are the super flavorful mushrooms like shiitake, maitake, and oyster mushrooms. You could use any that you have though. I even threw in some stems from baby bella mushrooms. Seaweed is a must when making mushroom broths. I use dulse and wild wakame. Seaweed, especially dulse, will give it a lot of briny flavor and fill the broth with minerals like iodine. You could also use wild nori, kelp, arame, or any type that you like. However, don't use sushi seaweed and seaweed chips because they're too thin and will get mushy. Add the mushroom stems and the sea veggies to a pot. Then add water and bring it to a boil. I tend to use 6 to 8 cups of water. Make sure you check out the recipe down below for the full instructions. After it comes to a boil, immediately reduce the heat and simmer the broth covered for 30 minutes. Let it cool a bit before straining into jars to store. When I first had my baby, I made sure to drink my mushroom seaweed broth almost every day. Before I had her, me and my friends made a whole bunch and I froze it. And every other day or so, I would take one out of the freezer, postpartum, let it thaw, and sip on it like tea. Just that by itself. I'd warm it up over on the stove, and I would just drink it like tea. And it was amazing. It just filled me with so many nutrients and nourishment, and made me feel all warm and cozy on the inside. Okay, now we're gonna make a vegetable broth. Food scraps can have a second life as a flavorful and nutritious veggie broth. When you're cooking with non-starchy vegetables like onions and celery, save the parts that you don't use for stock. I usually keep a container in my freezer to store onion roots, celery tops, and carrot peels, etc. Once that container is full, I make my stock with it. You can also use whole veggies to make a stock. For this one, I'm doing a mix of both scraps and whole veggies. If you're using whole veggies, first roughly chop them. You don't even have to peel the garlic, but smash it first. Non-starchy, flavorful veggies are great for this. Think leek tops and roots, parsnip peels, peppercorns, herb stems, and of course mushrooms. You could even toss in a lemon peel. Don't use scraps from starchy vegetables like potatoes and squash. Add scraps and roughly chopped veggies to a pot. Then add water. I also add dried thyme and bay leaf to my veggie broth. Bring it to a boil and then reduce it to a simmer immediately and cook with the lid on for 30 minutes. Let it cool before straining into glass storage jars. Keep it in the fridge, in a jar. It's easy to pour from, and you'll find that you can use it in so many ways. Honestly, it goes pretty quickly. That's why it's really great and convenient to make it every week. And like I said before, you save plenty of money. throughout the week, you can use it to do sautés. Say you don't want to do oil anymore, you can saute with vegetable broth. It adds so much more flavor to your dish. You could cook your grains with the veggie broth, your rice, your farro, your quinoa, any of those. You can do risottos, which are just, they are just asking, begging to be made with a fresh homemade broth. Of course, you could do soups and stews and chilies and curries. You could do noodle dishes like ramen and, any type of noodle dish. You can even use it in pasta. So say you're doing like a tomato sauce and you need to thin it out. Instead of doing water, add your vegetable broth. That's our broth video, guys. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you will make your own broths. I know that a lot of people think that making broths is difficult and intimidating, and that's the only reason they don't do it. So hopefully in this video, I have proven to you that it is like one of the easiest things you can make in the kitchen. If you can boil water and you can cut a vegetable like not even well, then you can make really tasty, delicious broths. So give these a try. Let me know what you think of them. And if you have any other ways that you like to make your broth, share it with us. Honestly, I do it the same way every time, so I'm not that creative. So share what you put in your broths. So hopefully you will inspire me and other people who are interested. Thanks for watching. Leave a thumbs up on this video. Oh, so I'm posting meal plans every week over on my blog and about once a month here on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you're interested in these amazing meal prep guides with shopping lists and amazing recipes, and sign up for my newsletter. The link is down below. Follow me also on Instagram to see what I cook for myself every day and what I'm doing in my life, and for more delicious free recipes. Links down below. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!